Lorries, they're part of everyday life on the roads, transporting goods up and down the country. But have you ever thought about driving one for a living?
Well, the organisation representing lorry drivers says there aren't enough young people training to drive HGVs. It claims an extra 45,000 new recruits are needed, or Britain's supply chain could be at risk. Well, with us is Richard Burnett, Chief Executive of the Road Haulage Association. Good morning to you, Richard. Lots of people, lots of businesses are saying to me they're worried about the skills gap and about where people are going to come from in the future that can do the jobs we need them to do. How much of a concern is it for your industry?
I think it's a massive concern for our industry, not just from a driving perspective, but across the board in terms of management. The driver issue is a significant issue for us, though, and attracting young people into the industry is it's a major issue right now. 45,000 drivers short at this current moment in time. There's due to be another 35,000 retiring this year, with only another 20,000 coming in terms of the pass rate. There's only a 50% pass rate in terms of getting people through the licence. We're seeing an increase in terms of the demand and requirement. I think the age profile as well, if I go back to the last business that I managed, 60% of my workforce were aged 55 to 69, less than 5% under 25. So it definitely demonstrates that there aren't enough people coming into the industry, and there are some reasons around that.
Well, what are those, Richard? You said that the testing process can be time consuming. Not everybody gets through it. That might put people off. But why else would people not want to do this at a time when jobs are still pretty scarce, aren't they? I know the economy is improving. But
Absolutely. I think the biggest issue that we face, there are a number of issues, but the biggest issue that we face is effectively funding for vocational licences. The cost to get a HGV licence is between £3,000 and £5,000 between the age of 18 to 21. How many people have got that amount of money to spend on a licence?
Well, the haulage companies have got that kind of money. Could they be paying for people and recruiting them to get the training, backing them through the training?
That's an interesting point, John, but the transport industry is an incredibly marginal industry. If you can make 1 or 2%, in terms of margin, you're doing very, very well. I think the industry has been penalised in a lot of places, and it desperately needs funding direct from the government to support the needs of getting young people into the industry.
Why haven't the companies been more prepared for this? Because this is not new, is it, this idea of there being a skills shortage? And all the sectors I'm talking to at the moment are all saying the government needs to do something about it. But why can't the companies do more?
I think there are a range of companies. So what you have to understand in terms of the logistics sector, there are both big and small businesses. We represent a whole range of the larger businesses, but also the small SMEs. Going back to the point that I made before about the marginal element of the industry, the cost attached to actually training. If you think about, one tractor unit might make £60 a week profit over a year. That's not a lot of profit. To then put somebody through their test, at the cost of £3,000 to £5,000 is a significant cost or an investment in parts of the industry. So we need government to dig deep. There's a great opportunity here for George Osborne, ahead of the budget to help transform the logistics industry and support the industry. And let's face it, the logistics industry in the UK is the backbone of the UK economy. Everything we move is effectively consumed by the UK public.
OK, Richard, well, thank you very much for coming in to tell us about that this morning.